way. And if I have any knowledge on the subject, I will absolutely gladly answer the question. If not, I will at least try or point you in the right direction. Um, let's see. Any specific advice? Well, first is especially because I'm mainly blueprints. That is kind of my almost sole focus. Um, let's see. Actor location. The first is definitely take some time, get familiar with the system because it has a fairly steep learning curve. So there are times, especially because like on our end, we see a lot of users who come in and they don't really know where to look. And actually, I'm going to pause from what I'm doing here, and that is something we can go over real quick. So I'm going to pull up what most people see right off the bat. So you come to our website here. By the way, oh, thank you, TK. I really appreciate the compliment there. I don't get to play with landscapes nearly enough. So you come here and you go ahead, sign in, get the engine, and you have no idea what to do. Well, there's three websites in particular that I recommend. The first, my personal favorite because I'm always there, is the forums. In here you have a wealth of information and you can pull from so many resources. I mean, like I'm in the blueprint section all the time looking around seeing what people are doing and up to, and people are just they're absolutely willing to help. So first things first, know that our community is awesome and they take all the time in the world to help people. I mean, it may not be everybody, of course. There's always, maybe a few that aren't quite as open or welcoming to new people. There's always going to be that, and unfortunately, that's just not something we can control. At least not everybody, kind of thing. Like it's something that's there's limits to what we can do. But for the most part, our community is very helpful. People like TK4, like Katata Studios, like Jamsh, like Nullrot. I mean, there's so many. I could go on and on and on where people are just willing to go out of their way to help people. The next one is the Answer Hub. This is something that I don't think a lot of people know. The way I personally view the Answer Hub, if you have a specific question that needs a specific answer or you are reporting a bug, Answer Hub is the way to go. This is where this is for the I am trying to get something done. I'm stuck on X, Y, and Z. It's not to start a discussion, it's to get an answer so you can continue moving. That's what this is for. Forums is for if you're wanting to start a discussion for maybe best practices, for wanting to know workflow opportunity kind of thing. That's all forums. Answer Hub, come here if you have a bug, which is specifically what my department does. I'm part of the I'm part of the engine support team. So bugs, install, setup stuff, that kind of stuff. Now, the last one, and this is the one I think most people miss. Well, it's technically two, but they kind of roll into each other. Is our documentation. We have a lot of documentation. It's not all perfect, obviously. I mean, it's a constant work in progress with things changing in the engine. It's pretty much it's an impossibility to keep it absolutely perfect every time. There's just that's a limitation that people have to deal with. But you can get a ton of good information out of here, and this is actually kind of where this whole thing was leading up to. My first recommendation, especially if you're wanting to learn blueprints, is in here. And that is to come in here. First off, just take a look around at what all is available. See if there's things that interest you. Try them out. There's tutorials in here. There's all kinds of stuff. There's tutorials on the wiki as well. But the main thing is right here, Blueprint Visual Scripting Guide. This has 90% of what you could possibly need to know about blueprints already laid out. It takes a lot of time to read through it. Given that I have read through pretty much all of this, I can tell you it takes a while to read through it. But once you do, you will have a much stronger grasp of how blueprints work. this like before I started at Epic, I actually started at Epic maybe a month and a half before the engine went public, and that was in March of 2014. So I started in February 2014, and I read through all of this. I had no scripting knowledge. I had just gotten out of college. So like my skills were very limited. I knew a bit of Unreal Script and a bit of JavaScript. Now I would consider myself very well versed in blueprints. I feel like I actually generally know what's going on. It may take me a while to figure out a specific function that I'm trying to do, or how to put together X, Y, or Z, but I know how blueprints work. I understand that kind of stuff. So if you go through and you start off reading this, it is a excellent place to kind of pick up those basics that you need to build a foundation to become very well versed in something like blueprints, which are very they're very intensive. They're very detailed. You're basically coding without coding. So that's always something. If you're more of a C++ person, which I'll admit I am not, I have not touched C++ yet really, but we have an entire programming guide. It's not like the API is definitely a work in progress, but we've got our C++ stuff, which is amazing. It's great to look through. Outside of that, my recommendations for new people is one that I should probably take myself, which is make stuff. Make bad stuff. Make terrible stuff. It doesn't matter what you make, just make it. And the reason I say that, and this is something that some people feel differently on, the reason I say make bad stuff is you learn so much more from failure and from doing stuff wrong than you ever will from getting it right the first time. Getting it right is great. It's fantastic. But it is when you have beaten your head against the wall until you are bloody and you have thrown everything at it that you will actually understand what you are doing. That's when you know you're doing good. Is when you have exhausted all options and you finally hit that moment where you're about to quit and you go, nope, let me try one more thing, and it works. And that is the best feeling that you will have, in my opinion, ever. So, that is my recommendation for you, Mirza, is just make stuff. And I hope that's a good recommendation. That's my recommendation. Anyone else agree? Anyone else disagree? Please talk about it in chat. Um, I feel like I just kind of dumped all kinds of stuff in that little rant there. So yeah, there you go. That's my recommendation for you. Yeah, that's TK's right. Like everyone that I've seen, that's how they learn. They beat against the wall. That's how I learned. I can kind of just to give you an example of kind of what we've been doing. This is actually just we started this on Friday, so let's see where is there it is. I don't want okay. Also, don't ever here's another pro tip. Don't ever convert in place ever ever. Always make a copy. Don't look for the convert in place button. Pretend it doesn't exist. Don't ever touch that button. It is a bad button. It should not exist. But they won't let me convince them to get rid of it. Okay, save that real quick. So I've kind of gone completely off rails, guys. I apologize. My brain started firing, and like I saw an opportunity to help, and I hope I'm not overwhelming you, Mirza. That's not my intent at all. So please let me know if I'm talking too much, because I have a tendency to just kind of my mind goes everywhere at once, and then I do things. Um, oh, it's taking forever. I need to check something real quick. I don't want to touch any anything in there. I'll leave that for now. See, it looks like some fun stuff going on in Slack. What happened to Fantas Falls guy here? Weird. Okay, anyways, so this is kind of the results of that mentality so far of just beating your head against the wall until things work. This is this is a project that I've been working on for, I'd say, oh god, I think we've been working on it for the better part of 4 months now. But you come in and it starts up, and you can change race and class selection system. It actually has a random selection as well. Got some health and energy and shields, a mini map. We've got an damage system, which I didn't mean to actually do. Got an EXP system right there. Over here, if you highlight things, they actually become highlightable, which that was a interesting thing to do. For those of you who remember me trying to set these up, that was, yeah, that one's been fun. We also have multiple menus. We have our pause menu here, which goes into our save load menu. We have character sheet with working ability points, working stat points, all kinds of stuff. So I mean, this entire project was pretty much just beating our heads against the wall, seeing what worked, seeing what didn't, why it didn't work, and continuing forward. And like, I mean, wrong thing. Where's my RPG controller? Like, most of the work here, this is all what we've been working on. To just keep going. If it doesn't work the first time, make it work, kind of thing. But yeah, that's in general the best advice I could really give you. Hey, Jave, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Actually, Jave, you might be on that list that I had earlier as well. Give me a sec here, because I believe you have helped out with this. So let me pull up. Where is my list? My list. My list. My list. My list. RPG. Jove, I need your name. Um, if you could, I mean, if you want to email it to me, that's fine. For privacy or whatnot. But I want to get you into the credits for helping out with the project. And yeah, I've actually got a credits list here. So if I hit credits, see right there, I want to get y'all's actual name. Alexander G. Here we go. There we go. So I've got your name now, and I believe Katanis provided me with a few others somewhere. Oh, you were on Katanis' list. My apologies. Let's see, Jamsh, Xe. Sorry, this is really important to me. TK, I need your name as well, sir. Um, if you don't mind. That way, when this goes out, it's important to me that you guys have recognition for your part in this. Like, if you helped me out at all, even in a little bit, and I have forgotten that you did, let me know, and I will add you to the list, because that's important to me. Anyways, so let's move on from there. I'm actually going to be getting off here soon because my mouth is going just completely numb from talking too much. But yeah, God, I'm actually really like. I'll be honest, it doesn't look like much, but I'm actually really proud of this project that I've been working on, and I'm looking forward to getting it onto the market for people. Get rid of this damn thing. I don't need that. Okay. I'm actually just completely proud of what was put together. It just has a few tweaks.